Come together under the moon's soft light. Cut the cap, light it up, slow burn. Watching smoke curls twist and turn. Wrap her tight, the filler pure gold. Every draw a story untold. Blue line smokes we pass around. In this family we wear the crown. Rings of smoke rise to the sky. Blue line smokes we fly high. Cedar notes and a touch of spice. Each puff a little slice of paradise. Binder holds life's mysteries. Blue line smokes beneath the trees. Fill the humidor with dreams in brown. Blue line smokes won't let you down. Long ashes, warm laughs all night. Together we stay in the dimming light. Blue line smokes we pass around. In this family we wear the crown. Rings of smoke rise to the sky. Blue line smokes we fly high. Blue line smokes we pass around. In this family we wear the crown. Rings of smoke rise to the sky. Blue line smokes we fly high. Blue line smokes we pass around. In this family we wear the crown. Rings of smoke rise to the sky. Blue line smokes we fly high. Blue line smokes we fly high.
Non-stop, relentless. Storm clouds cover the moon. Rolling waves crash on shore. Flooded streets, chaos reigns. Fear grips, but we hold on tight. God in all his might, watching over us now. Sun will come up soon. Everything gonna be alright. Roof shingles flying loose. Windows rattle, heart pounds. Lightning cracks, splits the sky. Darkness heavy suffocates. We huddle in the dark. Prayers whisper and hope stirs. Mother Nature's fury strong, but we're stronger together. Shadows flee, winds calm, peace restore. Water recedes, life returns. Sunshine brings a new day. God in all his might, watching over us now. Sun will come up soon. Everything gonna be alright. God in all his might, watching over us now. Sun will come up soon. Everything gonna be alright. God in all his might, watching over us now. Sun will come up soon. Everything gonna be alright. Alright, alright. God in all his might, watching over us now. Sun will come up soon. Everything gonna be alright. Alright, alright. Shingles flying loose. Windows rattle, heart pounds. Lightning cracks, splits the sky. Darkness heavy suffocates. We huddle in the dark. Prayers fierce, but hope stirs. Mother Nature's fury strong, but we're stronger together. Alright.
Yeah, you got the right to remain silent, but your eyes speak louder than words could explain. Under the streetlight, caught in our embrace, you got me detained, can't escape your grace. Anything you say, can it will be used. Your love's my conviction, restrained in the truth. Older and wiser, but you break my defenses. Blonde hair still golden, no need for pretenses. Control my heartbeat, lights flashing red, blue. Passions are stationed, I'll ride along with you. Anything you say, can it will be used. You lost my conviction, restrained in the truth. We'll have the right to remain silent. Love's a crime that's so violent. In my heart, you're the prime suspect. In your arms, I feel the effect. My love's a fire you can't extinguish, burning bright like a fierce anguish. Handcuffs on, no escape in sight. You're my prisoner every night. Every touch is an interrogation, every kiss a bold declaration. Anything you say can be used. You lost my conviction, I'm locked in the truth. In my corner of hearts I find you guilty. In my mind I want you with me. Your sentence of love is left plus 50. Anything you say, can it will be used against you. In my court of hearts I find you guilty. In my mind I want you with me. Your sentence of love is life plus 50. Anything you say can be used against you.
Little Sean with his flashlight bright, watching cops all Saturday night. Snack bowl full, eyes glued tight. Loves the action, loves the light. In his room, he feels alive. Waves his light, watches on patrol live. Every scene brings him joy, no jive. Loves the heroes, loves the drive. Sean Patrol, shining in the night, with his snack and his flashlight. Heroes on the screen, out of sight. Sean supports, stands by right. Mama Christie, bringing the snacks. Sean smiles, giving her some claps. Thanks, Mom, for all your acts. Loves his heroes, loves the tracks. In the glow of the TV's light, Sean feels strong, feels alright. For the cops, he cheers each fight. With his mom, life's a delight. Sean Patrol, dreaming big dreams. In the dark, his flashlight beams. Supports the blue, or so it seems. Loves his mom, life's like streams.
lost in Monte Carlo. Alan in his home and going hungry for tomorrow. Young girl with eyes like wildfire, smiles like a thief. Radio tunes blasting, offered her a handkerchief. Windows down, breezes blowing through her golden curls, singing broken-hearted ballads, rocking out no more girls. Alan drove with desperation, clutched onto the wheel. She laughed, kissed his grizzled cheek, made him feel real. Monte Carlo nights full of dreams we wouldn't borrow. Just an old man and a wild child gone tomorrow. Stealing time under silver stars, hearts a bit hollow. Burning memories of tonight, down the road they follow. Twilight whisper secrets under faded streetlights. Red lips touching whether one's passion takes flight. Slow dances in the front seat, hands all over skin. Nature's fingers find you begin to taste a bittersweet sin. She says out and we are a storm that cannot stay. No place for our tangled hearts, just this fleeting day. Knots, wraps her tight, doesn't need to hear more. Knows by dawn like shadows, she walk out of his door. Morning comes too soon, breaks the affliction. Kisses her goodbye, finds a lingering conviction. Monte Carlo, a stallion dwindling in their smith. Young girl, a ghost now lost in rhythm. Full of dreams we wouldn't borrow. Just an old man and a wild child gone tomorrow. Stealing time under silver stars, hearts a bit hollow. Burning memories of tonight, down the road they follow. Moonlight whispers secrets under faded street lights. Red lips touching weather wounds. Red lips touching weather wounds. Passion takes flow. Burning in the road they follow. Fire whispers secrets under faded street lights. Red lips touching weather wines. Red lips touching weather wines. Passion takes flow. Burning memories of tonight, down the road they follow. Oh, down the road they follow. Daytona Beach, the sun is bright. Sergeant Brian, Jimmy, jams in sight. Off patrol with a podcast twist. Friends hanging out, can't resist. Stories from the streets they share. Laughter echoes fills the air. From the cruisers to the show, Daytona Beach, they always glow. OPL recaps where fun begins. Police tales where the laughter wins. Every episode tune in now. Sergeant Brian, Jimmy jams, take a bow. Saturday nights, the mics are on. Talking cases till the dawn. Daytona stories fast and wild. Every tale makes you smile. Beaches, waves, and bright blue skies. Off patrol time really flies. From the stations to the sea, their camaraderie's the key. OPL recaps where fun begins. Police tales where the laughter wins. Every episode tune in now. Sergeant Brian, Jimmy jams, take a bow. Take a bow. Beaches, waves, and bright blue skies. Off patrol time really flies. From the stations to the sea, the camaraderie's the key. OPL recaps where fun begins. Police tales where the laughter wins. Every episode tune in now. Sergeant Ryan, Jimmy Jams, take a bow. Take a bow. Take a bow. Take a bow. The storms are rolling, thunder's cracking loud. Lightning paints the sky, unveiling the shadowed shroud. On the porch she's rocking, just her in that old chair. Sipping on a cold one, she ain't got a care. Power lines are down, the darkness creeps inside. Rain's tap, tap, tapping like a long-lost lullaby. In her hand a glass, amber like the setting sun. Drinking for its spoils, for the storm has won. Drinking through the storm, while the world falls apart. A toast to the night, and her weathered heart. Pouring out her sorrows like the skies pour the rain. In the middle of a tempest, she's dancing through the pain. The fridge ain't humming, the silence fills the air. But she's got a buzz and she doesn't really care. Raindrops on the window, washing dreams away. But in her little haven, she's chasing them astray. Candles flicker softly, shadows play along the wall. Each sip a small rebellion against the storm's call. She raises her bottle and lets out a laugh. For in the heart of chaos, she's found her other half. Drinking through the storm, while the world falls apart. A toast to the night, and her weathered heart. Pouring out her sorrows like the skies pour the rain. In the middle of a tempest, she's dancing through the pain. Drinking through the storm, while the world falls apart. A toast to the night, and her weathered heart. Pouring out her sorrows like the skies pour the rain. In the middle of a tempest, she's dancing through the pain.
What up, son? What's that? Oh, how's it going?
Whoever's in charge of directing those storms towards Florida sure has a crazy sense of humor.
Yeah? You're laughing? Because I'm not.
Oh, Jim. I think it's ironic that those among us who dwell in the midst of the people of this great country actually believe some of those antics. I won't say that for certain nothing nefarious is going on, but I will say this. there was no joke about what we endured last night.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting.
For those of you who decided to jump in and join us on this evening, you see that at least my backdrop is a little bit different. My Our buddy Jimmy has the opportunity to be in his home with lights and air conditioning and his normal setup. However, I have been displaced and I am some sort of Ichabod traveling in the in the desert places. I've landed at my mother-in-law's apartment,
Oh,
who doesn't
nice.
live far from me, but she has plenty of power and light. Thank you, Florida. But we are without it. So cheers to weathering the storm, Jim. Cheers, buddy.
What you drinking?
Apple juice.
That's dark. Apple cider.
I don't even have my headgear.
You got nothing.
I don't have my microphone. How does this audio even sound? Can you guys even hear me properly?
Yeah, everybody could hear you, right? I'll speak.
How's
for
it
everybody.
sound though? Does it sound like I'm in another room screaming as a prophet in the Old Testament times of some sort?
It sounds like episode 1 of OPL recaps.
So it's echoey and it is distant. Okay, I was correct.
Put a
That is
blanket
interesting.
over your head. It'll muffle the sound, and
Yes.
yep, it'll be good.
Perhaps I just lower my inflection and my tone. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time, Jim.
All right.
What is going on? What happened last night? Because I'm at a loss for words.
So, obviously, we knew Milton was coming, but Floridians, you say Cat 1, Cat 2, we're like, okay, cool, we're getting some rain. It's a typical afternoon for us. You say Cat 3, and people are like, okay, we're gonna start bombarding the shelves for beer, liquor, snacks, maybe some water.
Toilet tissue.
Toilet tissue, yep. And so yeah, when they said Cat 3, we're like, okay, let's take it a little more seriously. Let's bring in the Halloween decorations. And when they said, okay, maybe Cat 4, Cat 5, everybody's like, run, run. We didn't run, obviously. We can't go anywhere. We got jobs to do. So here we are. We made it through it, but we had to hunker down and do our thing. I had to watch the flea market at night. You had to
Yeah.
patrol the mean streets of Daytona Beach, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some stuff going on. But I will say this as I try to adjust my camera and all this stuff. I feel so tall. What are you sitting on? A baby stool that they use when they're going potty? What do you got?
You just lowered and you're gonna talk nonsense about me.
I'm trying to get on your level. Get on your level. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, there we go. See, I feel equal to you, my friend.
I'm just so you know, I'm still wearing the same clothes since 36 hours ago.
Why?
Because I was getting stuff ready for the storm, and I was putting boards up on the house, making sure everything was tucked away. And then I was like, okay, I got to head over to the market because everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. They just abandoned the flea market. So I ran there, I shut it down, and I've been there for 20 hours. And then I went and picked the kids up immediately after I left the flea market at noon today. And then got to the house, took like a 2-hour nap, and then ex-wife said she needed a generator because she had no power. So me and my wife said, let's go. And I just threw the same clothes back on because they were, I'm not going to put good clothes on to pick up a generator. So we did that.
Work,
and we just made a quick loop of the city to see what was going on. Not good.
Oh, gotcha. I understand. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. If we go on here at 3:00 in the morning, I think somehow, some way, McKenna would know about it, and she'd be the first one in the chat. Shout out to you. Hello, McKenna. How are you? She is one of one. God bless you, young lady. I'm glad. She said she didn't lose any power or Wi-Fi the entire storm. She's down there. Where you at, McKenna? Brevard County, right? So that's a good thing. Congratulations. Brevard County, a few minutes south of us. Thought we were getting more of a direct shot, and I guess they didn't, and we ended up taking a pretty good hit. So there was some video posted onto on IG. Tremendous stuff. Lots and lots and lots of views from the story that you curated on the Instagram page. Fantastic job. The only thing that would have been better if I was there with you, getting some of that footage, and we could have been.
So when you're on the west side of the county and you're out and about, I feel like I am a little more entitled to do what I want. So when I met up with you the last hurricane, it was great because I was right outside my job and I could do the things and not really worry too much. Where I have on my police scanner, I'm listening to all you guys talking, and when you guys say you're hiding and sheltering down, then I'm kind of like, okay, I don't want to be the Lone Ranger if something really does happen and you're really far away. And you can't come over the bridge because the winds. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay at the market. I'll take some videos so people can understand the magnitude of the wind and the water and the flooding, because the entire market flooded. So I was like, let me just do it from my job and that'll be fine. People will understand that it's pretty bad.
No question about it. And so basically, what Jimmy is talking about is here. It'll be a little bit easier for me to kind of just even share the screen. Maybe I'll do that. Show you guys, you kind of understand Daytona. For those of you who have not been here, we'll show you a little bit of what we're talking about. So this is the greater Daytona Beach area. The city right outside of Daytona Beach is Holly Hill. That's where my captain is now the chief of police of that smaller agency. For this particular storm, Jimmy was way out here working. Oh, zoom in, Mike, not out. Zoom in.
Whoa.
A little further.
It's close.
Further.
It's
Here
close.
we are. This is where you were.
Yep. So
there's Affordable Tire.
I manage that.
There's
whole
the Daytona
property.
Beach Flea Market. Right. So the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market is where Jimmy Jams was. Now, if you look, it's not going to show it really unless we switch it to other view, but there's a huge lake there. And Jim, all of that floods, right?
All that, I'm pointing like anybody could see this. Yeah. So our property is from the road to 95, and all that is our property. So we have all that property. There's cows, there's ranches, there's stables, then there's gators,
snakes.
Then there's the actual property of the flea market. So it's the 5th largest flea market in the country. So that's the size of this thing. It's huge. And it was just, it wasn't as bad as 2 years ago. I'll say that. It wasn't as bad as 2 years ago, but it was flooded pretty good.
Yeah, right. No question about it. So Jimmy's here. And for all intents and purposes, just to give you guys a glimpse of where I am during this storm this year, our station is a little closer than that. Our station is over here, off Dunn Ave. Where are we at? I can't keep my it's right over here.
You ain't got that fast AT&T fiber optics.
No,
Wi-Fi
dude, I barely have internet right now. So here's our station, Daytona Beach Police Department, Valor Boulevard. That's us. So we had some people there. And Mikey was way over here on the other side of the river at the Ocean Center. Excuse me. What was that? So here's where I was, right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, myself and about 100 other sworn officers from the Daytona Beach Police Department, including the SWAT team members, a rapid response team, a SWAT team, patrol training. We were in this large, like 50,000 square foot building, a block away from the ocean. So what does that take, Jim? On a normal day with normal traffic, it's 15 minutes to get to you from here.
Tops.
If I'm getting there. there's traffic. If there's a bridge to cross, like this one, any of the 4 bridges in Daytona to cross during a hurricane, I'm really not getting to them to help them out for anything. And then, the county, I don't think was mandated. So that's where I was. That's where Jimmy were. We had our communication, as minimal as it may be, but he was able to see some things. And me being on that side of the river, I can't cross over. All our policing's done on that side of the river, which is called District 2. So that's where I was. So if you haven't been to the Instagram page, go to the Instagram page quick before these stories start to go away. I can't log on to it from here. Jimmy's in charge of all that. I let Jimmy run the show. He's the man, the myth, and the legend.
Instagram, and then if my hands could go to your screen, you're the X guy. So it's Instagram me, X you, and then we do everything else in the middle.
Everything else in the middle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's where we were with that. You got to check out some of those stories because the things that he was seeing and putting out there in the world at night were second to none. Now, I do have some video and stuff like that, but you had some questions for me, Jim, about what was going on, why we were doing what we're doing, yeah?
Yeah, so, I mean, people always want to know, like, how things start when you get the initiation of, okay, there's a hurricane, and you guys say you get mandated, so that means... okay, they're just going to pick people out of a hat, or they just say everybody works. Like, do you have a vacation? It's canceled. Like, how does that work? And then where do they say you go? Like, typically you're right by me all the time. So how do they say, hey, Mike, get your butt over there, and you're going on beachside now? So how does that, how does that work for the normal civilian to understand what you go through?
Gotcha. So, we had an accident. We'll call it a hot water heater exploded at the police department about a month and a half, 2 months ago, or something like that, maybe longer. And so all the drywall, all the carpeting, all the stuff, basically, where we would congregate for a storm mandate, all the stuff is being redone. Now, what we're basically saying is because during a hurricane or a natural disaster or any incident that could be deemed, a mass casualty event or a public unrest event, usually we're going to bring all the police to the police department. We're going to get there and secure barracks, if you will, and get our marching orders from there. But because the building had issues, our bosses decided, hey, let's get them to other secure facilities around the city so that they can be there. So if they have to deploy for any incident or event, they can go from there, right? So there we are. Me and a handful of detectives ended up on beachside. Handful of detectives stayed at the police department. A handful were at Embry-Riddle University, Aeronautical University. So we could respond at different locations should the event arise. Unfortunately, for some people, you get a little trapped when you go somewhere, and like the flood water was out of control. I mean, a parking lot full of cop cars, and the water's rising, and that's not good. Things like that, and then we're trapped in that beachside because, as you know, Beach Street just completely water and palmetto. So if you're driving, even if you're driving an Explorer, it's hard to get through 2 or 3 feet of water expeditiously. So I was there. They were there.
So when it comes down to the calls, obviously you're not just going to be like, all right, let's go drive around and write some citations for seatbelts and stuff like that. Do you guys just hunker down and say, okay, somebody just say, Mike, you're going to go do XYZ, and Billy, you're going to go do traffic? Like what it entails your distribution for you guys to go to calls?
Right. So before I get just into that little piece, I know the internet is not the best. So I know my audio may be okay, but obviously I'm lagging a little bit video wise. But I had to get on here and talk to you guys about some of this stuff because I was getting a lot of messages a lot of stuff from people, wonder what was going on, but I was working until a few hours ago. So, calls for service are they're difficult. So you'll hear on the news where certain sheriffs of certain counties will say, "Hey, we're asking you to evacuate," and some will say it's mandatory for you to evacuate, and if you don't evacuate, you're on your own. Well, we didn't have that mandatory evacuation order, so we would respond to high priority calls. In fact, we had to respond on a very high priority call last night. But when you're getting burglar alarms and panic alarms and hold up alarms, trespassers, stuff like that, we can't risk life and limb, to go check out a guy who's standing on a parking lot in a parking lot or hiding under a car. We can't, as far as the property crime. And I'm not saying it's not important, but what we are saying is if we were your loved ones and not just your friends, would you want us to just go out there and sacrifice our life for a guy who's trying to sleep underneath a car to get out of the rain? Yeah, no, not really. So certain calls we respond to because we have to, and certain calls we can say we can't make that. But there's good news, and there is some actual footage of some ways that we did get to people. Did you see any of that stuff, Jim?
Oh, I was looking at everything.
The PD Facebook page.
I was looking at everything because I was at work for 20 hours, so all I could do is scroll through stuff, and you gotta stay awake. You gotta stay awake when you're just sitting there. So I was just scrolling away, looking at stuff, video recording, watching stuff go down, and I was listening to the scanner also. So I heard some of those calls you're talking about, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, there were some rough ones, but I'll tell you, the main goal for us is, look, let's get to the place where you guys know that we can't do certain things. I mean, we want to, if you see something, say something, call in. But we were getting some wild ones. Calls like, I need somebody to come out here and reset my router. That ain't gonna work. I mean, we got some things to do,
Yeah, I heard you guys prioritize calls. Like you would say, okay, we got a heavy rescue unit that could go, but it's not going to go. If you could walk out of your house, then you got to walk. But if it's, waist deep, then we'll come get you. And I was like, yeah, you got to, if you can walk out of the house, you got to walk. I mean, that's it. You don't need a huge truck with 3 or 4 guys on it to come get you, and you're just waiting on the porch in an ankle deep water saying, here I am.
Yeah. Some wild stuff. We were able to do some water rescues out there. They did not put it on the Twitter page. Do you have a Facebook page up, readily available? If you're not following Daytona Beach PD on Facebook, get over there real quick and check out some of the stuff that they have going on. Make sure you like that page, because we got a new PIO actually, Jim. PIO assistant. He's a younger guy. He looks like he might work out. That's what we'll say.
What? That's so random. What do you want to see?
So there were some images of some of the rescues we did. Yeah. That's one of our SWAT team members getting the baby out of a flooding house, and her and a sibling. We had people doing their thing, man. So as the sun came up, I mean, back and forth doing water rescues.
Listen, I was out and about in the flea market. Soon as the sun come up, there was Chargers, there was Challengers, there was Honda Civics. They didn't care about flooding. They were out and about, going everywhere. I'm like, what is I get it. If it's a normal Thursday, I get it. This is a Thursday that a hurricane just stopped the entire county, and y'all just out driving around. And I don't know if you know how many calls there were for down power lines in the road. I couldn't keep track.
No, there were so many. We could
100 at least.
So it's funny you say that, because I mentioned last week, well, not last week, I mentioned a couple of days ago when we were live, I guess, that, I work in the Emergency Operations Center, and I did not work in the EOC this year because I had to be out doing my thing and helping the people. But I'll tell you what happened. Those our officers go out and we do what we call storm mitigation, and then we call back and on the radio, and the EOC takes notes. So when we see a downed tree, we say where it is, if it's covering the entire road or which lane it's covering, things of that nature, right? And down power lines or submerged vehicles. And these calls were getting so repetitive that yes, 3, 4, 5 people in the EOC jotting down notes, entering, that stuff into calls, as well as a dispatcher. It was tough.
Yeah, I mean, the people just don't do it. Like, if you got a little car, just don't do it. I know it's blurry, but
There you go.
it's not worth it.
No,
If you
definitely
can't
not.
help, I get it. Like, I'm part of a Facebook group where like all the civilians want to help out because they got big trucks and stuff. But
Right,
I still say you gotta let you guys jump in there first and do
right,
your thing, and then
right.
12 hours goes by and people are still stuck doing something wherever, and they reach out to somebody in the Facebook group. Hey, can somebody help me? Cool, we'll see if we could help. Just as long as we don't
Right,
get in the way and we don't have to make you guys do any more work.
right. I mean, easy enough, right?
You would think
I
so.
mean, sounds easy enough. I don't know. I can't figure it out, man. All I know is I'm here to try to help people out. Sometimes they make it a little more difficult than it has to be, but at the end of the day, that's our job. We got to get out there and make sure that they're taken care of. So their logistics. I think you're asking a little bit about that as well behind all this stuff. Um, so think about, like, you people know that cops like to eat. Everybody knows cops like to eat, right? But think about the logistics of you staying at home through a hurricane. You can't leave. Everything's closed. It's hard to get gas. There's no food. Well, think about having close to 300 cops working. How do we eat?
I'll say you have to bring your own
Even if,
lunches. Everything's
well, you would
closed.
think, right? Mhm.
Hey, I forgot to bring food at my job, bro. At like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I was like, I want a Bucky's chicken sandwich. I was going nuts, and I was like,
You text me that. I was like, what's he talking about?
I was starving because I only had Chipotle at 11 o'clock. But I was
Oh,
like, okay, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then I was like, I'm up all night long. I'm gonna be here till God knows when. I was like, I didn't bring no food. I was like, I'm an idiot.
no, you're not. But you know what? Look at Lauren said. She wasn't talking about you when she said common sense. She was talking about the people out there driving around in their cars. But you know what? Common sense ain't so common. But no, you're right, bro. A lot of people forgot their food.
Yeah. So I know Bucky's was open because I was like, okay, let me fill up with gas and before I go to the flea. And I was like, maybe they're still open. Maybe I could just head over there and just. And I was like, why chance it? Why chance it?
Right.
I'm not starving, fella. I'm not starving. I was just hungry.
There's
Maybe it
no
was boredom.
caloric deficit. Yeah, there's no caloric deficit going on between the two of us. That's for sure. That's funny. We get our food. So now we need food. We need somebody or some people to, purchase food, prepare food, serve food. Because if you're going to keep, 300 cops almost for 24 hours, let alone 48 or 72
Mm-hmm.
hours, there has to be sustenance so we can keep going. And let's face the facts. Even at a police department or at the ocean center, wherever you are, is there enough refrigeration? Is there enough ice? Is there enough drinks and snacks? Can you keep your food somewhere? So a lot of the planning goes into an event of this magnitude, and it's all happening, Jim, at the last second.
It was the last second.
Yeah.
I was to tell you,
So
Wednesday I was chopping wood up to put it up on the windows. I was like, maybe I don't need it, maybe I do need it. I said, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So literally, the last 2 hours before I went into work, I was chopping wood up to put up on the windows to
right,
get that secured.
right. All right. So you
No,
got to.
I didn't get the Buc-ee's. I didn't get the Buc-ee's. Nope.
We were texting today. You didn't go get the chicken sandwich?
Dude, I left the flea. I went and picked up my
Oh
kids,
my god.
went home, passed out for 2 hours, and I had wifey made me tacos. She made me tacos, so I had tacos. I had a lot of tacos. I just kept eating
Home cooked.
until I felt sick, and I was like, I don't care. I didn't eat for so long, and I passed out, and then woke up, and she just made dinner again. So
There we
get a little something
go.
in the
Well,
stomach in a little bit.
home cooked tacos is better than Buc-ee's chicken sandwiches. I'll give
Facts.
you that. So there was a lot going on when it came to that. I tried my best to document some things, and I'll try to share some of that stuff with you guys. Obviously, I can't share it all, for obvious reasons. But Jim, check this out. So right before we went to the Ocean Center, right, I mean, like literally right before we went to the Ocean Center, we're at Valor. We're getting all set. And we're like, all right, 2:00, we're going to hit it. We're going to go. And the lights just shut off at Valor. Like
Really?
literally everything, they not just shut off, but then they start flickering. And I was like, what the heck's going on here?
It's a scary movie for you.
Bro,
Oh, wow.
This is what it looked like. Bro, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Why can't I make it full screen? How do I do that?
I should have took video of inside the flea market because it was pitch black. All I had was a headlight light on and a flashlight. And my boss is like, show me what's going on in the flea market because I need to know the damage and assess it. And I was walking through there and I was like, pitch black, flooding in some areas. Stuff is banging and making noises.
Yeah.
It was sketch. That's
Yeah,
good stuff.
sketch. This looks like something like a horror haunted house or something, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, you got some kind of like tarp there, and then you got a wall, and then you got a light at the end of the tunnel. Nobody wants to walk through the light at the end of the tunnel. Nobody. Nobody.
I was just snapping pictures away. I was just snapping away.
Oh, you got it, dude. You got to take as many pictures as you can. Even if you just delete them later because you're like, oh, it's trash. But you just got to have it just in case.
Yeah. So we were at the Ocean Center. It was a pretty cool spot. I'll tell you this. It was a little bit better than some of the other setups because it was so much space.
Yeah, I bet.
And that's what you want, You want to be able to be in. This is, there are rooms all up and down this hallway. It's 2-3 floors of private rooms that people can go in and sleep. And you got day shift and night shift there. So you gotta cater to those shifts. So, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. I should have been cooking, Jim. Is what I should have been doing.
It's too much work. Wendy said, when are you putting the Halloween decorations back up? I mean, are we getting another storm? Are we getting another storm or is that lies? Is that fake news?
They said something about Nadine. If anybody knows about Nadine and what's going on with that, please feel free to share it with us because I heard it was a rumor.
That's what I heard. I heard it was fake.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, dispelled somehow.
Listen, if the sun comes out this weekend, the Halloween decorations are getting put back up.
Oh, stop it. Of course the sun's going to come up. It's going to come up in the morning. It's called sunrise.
Then I'm getting the Halloween decorations up. Duh.
Carrie, what do you got? What do you got going on, Carrie? A creepy house? That's my house right now. Dark with the exception of 2 LED lanterns. Oh, yeah, no power. Sorry to hear that. King, what's up, man? Welcome back. Where you been? Man? Good to see y'all doing. Yeah, King, I saw your message earlier today. I had my hands full. What's going on? Yeah, I said, you know what, Jim? Let's set this up. Let's get on here real quick. Let everybody know we're okay for now. And stuff like that. What do you got, Jim?
So I don't know if it's a new update, but I keep seeing stuff pop up on my screen that people are asking questions or talking or chatting, and I'm just like, where is this coming from? I'm looking on the actual YouTube. I'm like, what is going on? Is it too much to drink?
It's interesting, huh? The way it's popping
up.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to see. Like, there's a lot of people in the chat, but like just one thing will pop up randomly here. I'm like,
Right.
Is it coming from someplace else or is it coming from YouTube? It's been a
It's
long
coming from
day. It's been a
YouTube,
long
but
day.
it's all connected, dog. You know how we do. We got some technology. People don't understand what we mean when we say technology is not our strong suit here. They think we're
Oh,
kidding about this, don't
no. I'm
they?
44.
Yeah, I think
Technology is going out the door.
that.
Next piece of technology is gonna be a pacemaker. That's it.
You silly. So, few of the detectives and some of the officers got together. We were able to garner some
Look at
donations
that.
from the community.
Look at that sexy
El
man.
Campo. Yeah, El Campo. We were able to garner some donations from the community, businesses, churches, things of that nature. We bought a bunch of food. Four Rivers donated a bunch of food.
Nice.
Shout out to Four Rivers in Daytona Beach. Outback Steakhouse came through with a bunch of food for us the next day. Then we bought a whole bunch of other stuff. So, we had the Blackstones out and the other grills and stuff like that, making burgers, dogs, honey baked ham came through. I'll have that post up on my X here in a little bit. I shot Honey Baked Ham. My daughter works there. If you're in Daytona Beach area, go to Honey Baked Ham and tell them you love you love her dad.
Yeah.
Her
Speaking
mom.
of dad, real
Go ahead.
quick, my kid sends me a Snapchat, and I'm just like, "What's he up to now?" He's messing something up. He's watching us. That's great. That's great. My
shout
kid.
out to Jimmy Jr. Or was it Jordan?
No, it was Jamie. He was.
All right.
Yep.
What's up, Jamie? What's up, kid? How's that? What's he driving now? That Chrysler still? What's he got?
Yeah, he's doing he went from Ultima things to Chrysler 200 things. He's leveling up in the hood.
He is leveling up, man. You ain't gotta tell me.
Next, he's gonna get a Hellcat.
Oh Lord, don't say it.
No,
Say
I can't afford it.
so.
Nobody can afford the insurance.
No. So we did some mitigation throughout the day. We tried to make sure we saw the city for what it was worth. This was particularly near and dear to my heart. This is a large tree on some power lines outside of my community. And that's why I don't have power. But Jim, there's good news. You ready for this?
Tell me.
When me and the wife were leaving the development on our way to mom's-in-law's house, there were FPL trucks. They were setting up signs. They had lights up. I saw chainsaws getting crunk up. Is it crunk? Are you cranking them up?
Cranked.
You're
Crunked.
Crunked is okay.
And then cranked is
cranked is when you do that. I don't think that I really knew the difference until you just said it. So I appreciate that. Is there a real difference?
It's the familiarities of the word. So crank and crunk, optometrist and
obstetrician. We're never going to get this right. I don't think we will.
No, it's okay.
So look at that. Hey Don, how are you?
Welcome to the chat. I keep shutting my phone off, but I forgot that I'm actually reading stuff on there. So how did everybody fare in the great city of Daytona Beach? That's what everybody wants to know. And obviously Florida.
Yeah. Well,
I think everybody did pretty good.
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody. I don't have the numbers right here in front of me. Unfortunately, I know that some people did succumb to weather from the tornadoes further south of us. I don't think we got any tornadoes in Daytona. I didn't hear any reports of tornadoes, and I had the radio on all night next to my ear. I was trying to sleep. I don't know why I did that to myself, but I don't remember hearing anything about fatalities in the city, which is a great thing. Now, there are always those outliers, because obviously we have considerable homeless population, and they don't always have somewhere to go. But sometimes we'll discover that sad situation later on in the day, but all good here. All right, Carrie, thank you. Ophthalmologist. All right, thank you. That's the person that does the glasses, right? Oh no, that's the optometrist.
Dang, you still got it wrong.
Do okay. This is what we'll do. All right. We're going to put it on the poll at OPO_recaps. Do you know the difference between an ophthalmologist and an optometrist without Googling it? The answer is no. Nobody knows. You have to Google it.
Why don't we just change the
Shout out
names?
to
I'll be the
Google.
optometrist and you could be the ophthalmologist.
No,
And then we'll never forget.
King, we will always laugh at ourselves because we don't take ourselves too serious. We never will.
Nah, you can't.
You know?
I mean, you gotta have some kind of enjoyment in life, even after some devastation like we just had. Otherwise, you might go crazy. You might go crazy thinking about all the bad things.
I got a question for King Coop. Is it King Coop because your last name's Cooper, or were you a King Koopa fan from Super Mario Brothers? That's his name, right? King Koopa? That's what his name?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know. Let me know. Let us know in the chat, King, why Coop is. Do you have chickens? Do you fly Boyd's? You know how they do the pigeons in New York, New Jersey? Why Coop? That's what we need to know. Yes. So there's hope on the other side, and we will get to a little bit of that as well. If my lights come back on, we will have more details for you because I have so many pictures, Jim.
Let's say you probably just make a video out of it, huh?
I think I should just make a video out of it.
Yeah.
But some of these pictures are absolutely terrifying, Jim. When I tell you they're terrifying, we rode through Holly Hill because we couldn't get up Mason Ave in sedans, and we were picking people up and dropping them back off other officers.
Mm-hmm.
And so shot up LPGA real quick, and there's that little canal, LPGA.
Oh yeah, that right by the senior citizen home. Yeah.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Directly through his garage and out the back door. The whole yard is underwater from that little stream across the street. Every house, six houses strong, underwater. He was sweeping out water out of his front because he had a little stoop.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the living room didn't have it, but the garage is lower, so inundated. It's just, a horrific scene.
What's the fastest?
And the sound.
What's the fastest you've ever driven? That's a question.
I've ever driven, or you've ever driven?
We'll go with you first. I already answered on the chat.
I was able to drive on the NASCAR track.
Ooh,
in a patrol car.
Interesting.
In a dream I had. I never did that in real life. I was a kid. Yeah, I never did that. Statute of limitations.
All right, gotta go.
Crime.
Bye. I'm out.
They allowed us. It's not a crime. They allowed us to do it. But I'm just going through some pictures, and I mean, I can't stop looking at this beautiful thing right here. Look at this thing.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the vehicle that braved the floodwaters of Daytona Beach all day for the last 36 hours. You didn't get stuck anywhere, did you?
No, definitely not. Not a chance.
If you look close up here to the right of the hood, there's your exhaust up there, right?
Yep.
So you basically can go hood deep in water.
Yeah, I have.
Probably wouldn't be smart. Oh, you have?
I have. Yeah. It's just.
Does it come through the crack of the door?
So I put extra weather stripping on the doors, but it still came in during the last hurricane. So that was Irene. That was the last one we had 2 years ago.
Ian.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, it came through the doors, but it wasn't like, oh my God, it's coming in the truck. It was like the rug got wet, and I was like, oh, it smells kind of funny. So I just took the rug out. So no, it doesn't matter.
Well, look at this. There's always sunshine after the rain, and that's a testament to it right there.
Yep.
Good stuff, Jim. Good stuff. I'm looking for that video of the howling that kept us up eerily all night. The the scariest sound I thought I'd ever heard. I thought the doors were about to rip right off the hinges.
Oh yeah.
It
We
was
get
terrible.
that at the front door of our house, and we bought one of those security hook things
Yeah.
that you wedge in the door, and that stops the door from flexing, and you make the howling noise. But it's
Yeah.
creepy. It's
It's
creepy. That'll keep
super
you up,
creepy, man.
and
Oh my
every little thing will keep
goodness.
you up because you sit there and wonder: did I secure everything 100%? Did
Yep.
I do 100% of this, that, or the other? And it'll weigh on you all night long. I sat there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we had power, so I watched every camera around the house, and I was like, okay, this could blow over, this could blow over, and I was like, do I go home in the middle of a hurricane and secure this couple things because I don't want a car to get damaged or I don't want it to hit somebody's window and break it? And I was like, man, it's not
Right.
moving in 2 hours. It's got to be good. So I kind of
Yeah.
just crossed my fingers, but you always think of
Yep.
all the things more than you would
Oh
ever
yeah.
think of anything.
And I know some of you guys felt the same way. The sights and sounds of living through a hurricane. I don't care if it's a 1, 2, or 3. It's very, very heart pounding. It's not for the faint of heart at all.
I say it never
Um,
gets easier. Every
no.
time I'm like, ah, cool, hurricane, we're going to get a day off of work. We're going to hang out, have a little hurricane party. And then you're like, it's not really a party because I'm stressed thinking about this.
Yeah.
Doesn't get easy.
Yeah. It's no fun at all. I do want to thank Chief Taylor for reaching out. He reached out to check on us, Jim. Sends his love.
Yeah, he called me.
Spoke to him yesterday.
He called me like 2 hours ago. I was like, "Hey, Chief, what's
There
going
you
on?"
go.
No, he didn't call me. He has my number. I love you, Chief.
I'll give it to him though if you want. I'll pass it.
I'll just go through you.
He reached out. A lot of love from people all over. Obviously, Braylon just had a baby, but he checked in. Captain Danny Brown hit us up, checking on us to make sure we're good. Was able to talk to him last night. Shout out to the Cap, Corporal Carr, and he just got married. He should be on the honeymoon, and he's reaching out, checking on us. He says you all are in our thoughts and prayers. If you guys need anything, don't hesitate. A bunch of people from Richland reached out. Remember, we were supposed to have a visitor this weekend, Jim. Remember we talked about that visitor in Orlando this weekend?
Yep.
But that fell through because of the storm, obviously. So that visitor is not coming anymore. But shout out to Deputy Ellison for reaching out. We've been talking nonstop. He and some of his family. I think he's bringing his wife down.
I'll say
Orlando as well.
A lot of Instagram messages too. Thank you for everybody that checked in and was
Absolutely.
watching the stories and making sure we were okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys looking out and that, keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. Something I did want to touch on. Did you see what happened at the mall?
No. Was it a break-in?
No.
I heard a break-in.
That's what I was wondering.
I heard a break-in over the scanner. Somebody broke into a jewelry
Racetrack.
store.
Yeah, racetrack got broken into by you too.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know
Yeah,
if have that picture.
I saw some ne'er-do-wells on bicycles riding around in the middle of the night with no lights on,
Really?
and I was like, y'all stay over there. That was a couple
Yeah.
nights ago. It wasn't last night though, so
Yeah.
reckless speculation that they were up to no good.
Yeah. We can do that. We can speculate. I don't know. We're not sure what happened. I don't have the picture. I probably can send it real quick. But what are you responding to over there? You got something going on.
I was reading these messages. Jimmy, where are the dogs at? Downstairs, probably laying down, being lazy, smelling food. Dog's relaxing. She's living the good life, getting treats, being amazing, peeing when people come over. So I got to clean that up. Still amazing though. Wait, Mike, we can't hear you. You were watching a video.
Am I back? Am I back?
You're back. You had a video on?
No, I did not. So, like I said, I'm using my phone as my microphone. I was looking for a picture I want to show you, and I can't seem to find it on my on the computer here. So, she's a good girl, Via. Did she get crazy during the storm? Did Dawn say?
So I think she gets very overprotective during the storm because she hears all the howling and she hears the noises. So them ears never stop. But I will tell you, at one point at like 4 a.m, I heard, or I didn't hear, the camera went off and it said something about living room camera, which is not normal. So I was like, what's that? So I look at it. I was like, living room camera. I was like, let me look. So then I just see like stuff like falling. And I was like, oh no. I was like, what is that? Is that like water dripping in the living room? And then it was like, just look more like dust. So I said, let me look at a different camera. So I looked at a different camera in the other living room and it was pitch black and the night vision was on. So you couldn't see anything really good. And then all of a sudden I see blink, blink, blink. And I was like, is that the dog? And all of a sudden she does like a motion and she's blink, blink, blink. And she's looking at me. I was like, that's the dog. And then I saw wifey looking out the back window, peeking, looking at stuff. And I was like, okay, they're both up. Beast. Hey, want to say hi? Beast. Hey. Oh my God, she's so heavy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ruined the whole show. So there's the dog. She's fine. No dogs were harmed. I did see a coyote last night at the flea market. Oh boy. Where'd Mike go? Mike's gone. Mike's frozen in time. Or am I frozen? Who's frozen? That's the real question. Can everybody see me moving? Yeah. Mike's out. So there's the pooch. The pooch is fine. She's a fantastic dog. She was on high alert, as all dogs should be during a storm. No, can't have Bia. That's my dog. But we will see if we can invite Mike back to this chat. Mike's frozen. Let it go, Mike. Let it go. No problem, Wendy. She was excited to be here, obviously. All 80 pounds of her. So I guess we're probably going to wrap up that live since Mike is out. Solo show doesn't sound like too much fun. If anybody has any other questions, though, I'll go through them really fast. No, 150-pound Danif. I don't know what a Danif is, but 150 pounds sounds like a lot of cleaning up to do. So, Wendy, I was driving around last night only at my job. That was me driving around on the Instagram going live. I did drive around tonight and I was just kind of just surveying the land. I don't like to drive around too much because other people don't know what they're doing. And there's a lot of flooding in Daytona. So my truck could get through it, but people with cars try to get through it. Then they get stuck. And then I try to be the good Samaritan and help them out. So I don't want to have to go through all that and risk getting out of a vehicle with other vehicles around and people driving all over the place, acting crazy because they don't know how to drive and they want to see the splashing and all that stuff. I don't want to do all that. So it's sketchy to be out fresh after a storm because everybody's out and they just want to drive. They just want to sightsee. They're looking this way and then they're bumping into other cars. So not always the best thing. Was a good night. Was a good night, that's for sure. Bikiki TG. I didn't see anything with Lee County. Let's see what Mike says. Hold on, he's FaceTiming me. Let's see. What's this guy doing? Look, Mike, you're still here, right?
No way. I see you. Are you still on?
Yeah, I'm doing a solo show now. You're out.
Yeah. Just hold me up next to you and tell the people
Look.
that the power just shut off at my mother-in-law's house.
All right, so everybody knows Mike didn't just bail on us. He didn't just say, all right, I'm done with OPL recaps. See ya. The power went off at his mother-in-law's house. So he's taking a sip of cognac or Hennessy or whatever it is. And he wants everybody to know, have a wonderful night.
Yeah, love y'all. Win some, you lose some, right, people? It is what it is.
So if you need anything, Mike, I have electricity still.
Yeah.
So if you need anything, food, wifey made food. We have some beverages.
Yes, you do.
And we have running water. So if you need anything, you could come on over as well. Only Jordan's here. Jamie's out partying. He's not partying. He's just at a friend's house.
Yeah, but thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. These people, they better fix this power. I can tell you that right now. I'm over this. I'm over it, guys.
All right, so we're going to end this live session. The disappointment's real, folks. He's very upset.
Yeah.
We got a good show in, but we're going to wrap it up. We're going to say have a good night. I'm sorry I don't have all the fancy things like Mike has on his phone to end a session. So we'll just say have a wonderful night. Everybody be safe. If you have any questions or comments about the storm or anything else, just hit Mike up on X or me on Instagram or the Facebook page, OPL Recaps, any of those things, or I'll just read the stories on YouTube and we'll answer those questions as best we can. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep this party going. Somebody's gonna have electricity. I'll do this from my truck. There's electricity in the truck.
All right, man. Later.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Thanks for tuning in to the show, and everybody be safe and happy.